Hey guys, it's Brian again with another ceiling fan video, and on this week's edition of But Will It Blend? We've got a blendy boy. Not just any blendy boy. Oh no. This is a K63 blendy boy. Yep, this is a 52-inch Emerson Heat Fan, also known as a blender fan, as so nicknamed by us ceiling fan collectors, because someone once said eons ago that these things look like blenders with blades mounted to the bottom. And they're not wrong. It's from June of 1980, as per the date code on the capacitor inside the lower canopy. It's got the fiberglass blades, 2-speed pull chain, non-reversible. And I picked this up last year, I believe it was last year, from Eric Jongleward, who had actually pulled quite a few of these out of a warehouse that he was working in. So this fan originally was installed with, sorry, a lot of junk here, one of these. Basically a wiring pigtail that has a 3-prong plug on it. So I promptly removed that because I wanted to have a permanent installation here in my garage. This actually replaced my Emerson Stratojet that has served me very faithfully for a number of years that I've had it installed here. But I will be honest, the Stratojet only pushes air in a column straight down. This pushes air a lot further and actually moves more air than the Stratojet, being that it has the wider flat tip blades and a more powerful motor. So yeah, it did not originally come with an upper canopy. However, I happen to have one lying around from another fan that I had scrapped years ago that died. So here it is. As you can see, it's not in the greatest cosmetic shape. This one actually, I used to have 2 of them. One of them I sold this past year at Fanimation to Matthew Calderale. And they had been in a stack of boxes over there. One of the lids had collapsed, and we had a bit of an avalanche situation here. So the fans got a little bit scratched, but they are still in 100% intact condition. This is the one that I have left that I decided to keep for its permanent installation. And as you can see, it has its original pull chain on it from the factory, which I'm going to leave. However, I do not plan to use this on a pull chain. I actually have another surprise for you guys. On the wall here, I installed, yep, an Emerson solid state control rated for 3 amps and actually has the model number for the heat fan on the back of this plate. So let's go ahead and turn it all the way down and we will demonstrate it. And by the way, that does have a low speed trim adjustment on it, and I did adjust the low speed trim on this. So currently this is the slowest that the fan will go, which is a nice aesthetic speed. It does have a bit of a hum to it, but really it's what do you expect for a pretty much an industrial fan. Doesn't bother me at all. The only thing that I've changed on this fan is I actually took the ball and socket mount and down rod from the Stratojet and I put it on this fan because the way that the original mounting system was, you had to have a J-hook from the ceiling and then put the bolts from the canopy up into the ceiling box, which is a really stupidly designed mounting system in my opinion. So I switched it for the ball and socket mount that allows me to have everything kind of self-contained in one unit to put the canopy up, bolt it to the bracket, and then have the ball and socket. Just makes my life a lot easier. But yeah, it's got a really nice aesthetic low speed. Let's go ahead and go and turn it up here. Not much of a difference. Let's go ahead and turn it up a little more. There we go. This is more of a functional low speed. Yeah, you can definitely feel air movement off of this speed. I'll go ahead and turn it up a little more, and then I'm going to tell you the childhood story that I have about blender fans. I may have told this story before, but the Catholic church that we went to, my family and I went to as a kid, was built in the late 60s. And at some point in the early 80s, they installed a bunch of Emerson K63 Heat Fans in the church with those big mid-century modern cylinder lights with like the crosses and stuff on the side mounted to the very bottom of the fan. So I saw probably about at least a dozen of these in my hometown church growing up until they remodeled it back in like 2003, I think it was. And then all the fans disappeared, sadly. Oh yeah, she's definitely cranking out some air. This is no slouch. But yeah, that was definitely the coolest install of blender fans, albeit K55 blender fans, that I've ever seen. So let's go ahead and now turn it all the way up. And it does have a decently significant wobble to it. Blades are out of balance. But it is absolutely cranking out air. You can feel that all the way on the other side of the garage. Like I'm all the way back by the door, and I can feel it. I'm gonna have to eventually do something about that wobble. But yeah, I'm really glad I put this up because this is a very childhood fan. All right, let's go ahead and shut her down. You know, despite its cosmetic flaws, it performs really, really well. I'm really glad that I picked this up. This is like the perfect fan for this location. Not that the Stratojet wasn't a good fan, it's just I needed something that moved a little more air and moved it further outward than just like straight down. Of course, I probably could have put that black union up here, but I mean, blender fan, especially with the original solid state wall control, like how could I resist that? And despite hanging in its original location for over 50 years, well, maybe not 50 years, but 45 years in the same location, still runs good. So there you have it. That is the 52-inch Emerson K63 Heat Fan. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching. More videos to come.